Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for joining today's podcast. Today, we're going to be doing another interview. As always, my name is Nestor Sanchez. Unfortunately, Ryan could not make it to today's podcast, but we're going to follow through with it anyway. Remember to follow all of our personal social media accounts to stay up to date with me and Ryan. Ryan is at Ryan the Crypto Guy. I am at Crypto Delo. And make sure to stay to the end to hear some additional resources that we will provide you guys in order to get more zoned into the cryptocurrency space. Today, we're going to have a special guest speaker. His name is Kevin. He's been doing a lot in terms of investing, trading, and also helping people on their journey. And I think this is one of the biggest things that we do in our community is just helping other people get this advantage of investing and trading. And he's been doing it not just for the English speaking community, but for the Spanish speaking community as well. And without further introduction, this is Kevin Barquero.
All right. Well, thanks for having me, Nestor. My pleasure to be here. Let's get started.
So first things first, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, what you kind of do.
Okay. I'm from Costa Rica. I'm 25 years old. Before being in investing world, trading, and cryptocurrency, first I was in high school, and before going to college, my mom, she asked me what I wanted to do. I didn't even know what I wanted to do. So my family, they pretty much all told me to go and study computer science. So I wanted to study computer science, but I didn't like it, to be honest. I didn't really like uh, the normal, let's say, routine of a person in that area. So I just didn't see myself, programming and coding. I mean, I don't think that's bad. It's just that it was not meant for me, right? So I started being miserable in in college. That's what I tell people. I didn't enjoy my time there. So I kind of started struggling with my process in in college. I'm sorry, not high school, in college, in the computer science school. And yeah, bro, I depended financially on my mom. So my mom was my wallet. I didn't have any money, so the only source of income that I had at the moment was my mom. So at some point, of course, that was limited, right? It's not like she has like infinite money to achieve all my dreams and all of that, right? So at some point, I remember that I was like 2 years deep in computer science, but I mean, it was my second year of I was finishing my second year of college, but I was still my first year, like let's say advanced level. I don't know if you understand what I mean. So I'm still cursing the same level from first year at the second year, if that makes sense, right? So I was not making any progress doing that. Of course, when you see that, when you see some people advancing their life and moving forward with their career, and I'm still there stuck. You start to feel a little bit bad. You start to feel like that doesn't make any sense, right? So at some point, something in me told me that I needed to do something else, right? So I looked into the world of entrepreneurship, and at my college, I found this entrepreneurship group of people, like people from like students from the college, that they were building their own business and stuff. So I joined them. I didn't have any business at the moment. That was the first, let's say, uh, close approach that I had to entrepreneurship. Like I saw people building their business and all that, right? But those people were these kind of people building crazy technology and apps and websites and all of that. And I didn't have any knowledge to do that, but I did have dreams and the will, and the desire to go after my dreams. So I joined there. I didn't really do nothing until 1 year after that. in 2016, um, I got introduced to financial markets through a cousin. Like he calls me and he introduced me through the foreign exchange market, forex, to the foreign exchange market through a network marketing company at the moment, right? So he prospected me to join his team, right? And that's how I started in financial markets. That was a very bad moment because we didn't really know nothing, so we lost money. We didn't have information. We thought that it was gonna be like the movie, like like the Wolf of Wall Street, right? We thought it was gonna be all party and all money and all happy endings, but at the moment it was not like that, right? It was not like that. We didn't have information, we didn't have mentorship, we didn't have guidance. So when I started in 2016, that same year, months later, actually like 7 to 8 months later, I got introduced to the company I still work with, which is IM. And and yeah, and we still here. I got introduced to other markets like the gold market, the indices market, the cryptocurrency market, which is what changed my life. Um, well, that's what I can say, bro. That's my background. I come from college, from a little town in Costa Rica called Golfito in the border with Panama. So I moved out of my hometown to come to the city because it's not really a city here in Costa Rica, but to come here to the city to study. And that's pretty much what I did before that.
That's so cool. So I feel like
Mhm.
I kind of had a similar journey. My mom wanted me be to be like an engineer or like
Yeah,
something like very like specific so that I could just, get a degree and make money. And I got to school and I didn't really like it, I understood that there's other things that I could be doing. And that's when I was like, okay, well, how do I make money without kind of having to spend all this time without because I was really lazy,
right.
in high school. I think that was just one of my downfalls. I was just like, I don't really want to do the work, homework is
Yeah,
crazy, right? Why would I do homework or work outside of school when I should be doing it all at school? I'm paying for this. And I just didn't really have the right mentality. And right
right.
now I'm working even more than I would be working at school, but it's something that I love, something that I enjoy. And also,
Yeah,
it impacts
exactly.
people so much more. And
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
think that's a big thing is like you said, you got in by, your cousin, right? And then
Yeah.
your cousin kind of just flip that switch and then understood that making money with the markets is probably a little bit better, and
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, he introduced me to the markets, but he doesn't really do nothing with the markets now. Like he's not like he continued to trade.
mm,
He just was the person that introduced me to it, but then he actually like quit. He quit it, and then I continued, and then I'm here, and he still to till this day he still talks to me. He's like, "Congratulations, like you never stopped, right?" But I mean, it is what it is. Consistency pays off.
yeah, I feel like that's a big part of like I am also like investing and trading in general. It's just the people who are consistent, the people who don't quit, they're the ones that end up standing. They're the ones who keep all the money at the end of the day.
Yeah,
I heard this
agree.
quote that
Yeah,
goes like, basically those who survive get to enjoy the spoils of war. So
yeah,
right now we're in a war. There's a lot of blood in the markets. There's a lot of stuff going on, and in reality there's people just, okay, I'm just gonna sell my Bitcoin, get out of here, right? I'm gonna sell my crypto. I'm not gonna be in these markets anymore because I'm losing too much. But those people that stay, they're the ones getting Bitcoin at cheaper price. They're the ones that are investing heavily right now, and they're the ones that are going to enjoy the spoils of afterward, you know. And something I did want to ask was like, what kind of brought you to IM? I know that you said like your cousin introduced you, and then you got introduced to it by someone else. But what kind of intrigued you to stay here and build like I would say a career out of this?
okay. So when I joined the first network marketing company, I saw people making money, right? And I made some money too. I didn't make money from the market, but I made money from network marketing, from sales commissions, right? And I really like the idea of making money online and all of that, and the principle of trading and all that, investing. I didn't know nothing. I was a very uh, let's say beginner level investor that at that time. But I did like the idea of learning how to read the markets, of understanding the potential of this skill set and all that. And I continued to learn. So even though I failed in my first company, I pretty much all my customers like lost money. I lost money. Everyone lost money. I believe. I don't think like they all quit. Actually, from that first company, there's still people that still trade and they do it successfully. So I don't see that as an L. I see that as a lesson, right? So I can say that also that not only understand the vision of learning this profession of what I was able to earn, right? But also seeing people making that kind of money when I started was what inspired me, to continue. And I met some people. The fact that I was getting access to be surrounded to different people, people with different mindsets, people with different pockets, people that they were thinking different and doing different things as well. They were more positive, like the normal people that you get to meet. And I believe like the good thing about network marketing, if you're getting started if in entrepreneurship, I would say join a network marketing business because that puts you around good people, that puts you in a system that helps you make money. It teaches you all the skills that you need to know to be an entrepreneur. How to sell, how to follow up, how to close, how to do all of that, right? But at that point when for me it was only sales, 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 and I was good at that. I feel like I've always been good at sales. Um, I was at a moment that I was like, I don't want to sell something that doesn't work. Like, because at some point it was working for everyone, then it stopped working. That was the point. It was not the point that it was not working at the first level. It was the point that it stopped working, right? So when something is working and it stops working, then you don't want to promote it anymore, right? So that's what happened to us. So I stopped promoting. I was like, oh, I don't feel like doing this, doing that. It felt a little weird because all my family were involved as well. I was that first person in network marketing. I was so excited, promoting to everyone, signing up everyone up. If your dog was the presentation, he was gonna sign up, for sure. Even your dog was gonna have a profile. But at that point, it was like promoted too big for something that I didn't know it was not gonna work, in the long term. So I kind of stopped promoting and stop doing like the business because I didn't want to like bring like people to that opportunity at that moment. And I stopped doing it and I continue with my learning on trading. Like at that point, it was me, learning in YouTube, finding information, everything is organized. I didn't have a mentor, I didn't have someone to ask. And I was still in communication with my uplines from the previous company. So so I was let's say I did not leave yet. I was always there, but I was not building, right? If that makes sense. So I did not. I never left until we all moved to the other company. So like I never left the opportunity, but I was not building the business like I used to. If that makes sense, right? So I was still in communication with these people. I was still going to the mentorship. I was still attending the Zoom calls. I was still doing all of that, right? And that kept me close to the fire. I believe that kept me close to the people that were making the most money at that moment, at least in our organization, at least in our team. you know and I remember my upline. He's a chairman 250 in a company. I believe you're an IM too, right? Okay, awesome. So he's a chairman 250 here in this company. So he's something he's someone that has achieved a high level of success in this industry. And I remember at that point, he was a person I was making probably $2,000 a month, like 3,000, probably 4,000 his best month, right? And I remember like we became very close friends because I was pushing the business like really really strong, and we became like really close friends, you know. And when you're friends with someone that also shares that burning desire that you have, that's something pretty cool, you know, because that's not normal. Like you may have a burning desire, then you talk to someone that doesn't have a burning desire at all. That's like, you know, you don't feel like connected, like the same vibration, right? But then you find your crew, like your tribe, your people, and then you just wanna go all in, right? Because these people understand you. For me, those were my uplines, right?
Yeah.
Because
I
they
feel like
they
that's
became my
huge.
friends.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Cause like
they
a big thing of when I started my business was like I had only so much, you know. I had a friend who was my business partner, who is my business partner, but I mean, he was not ahead of me, right? We were just side by side. If anything, I try to help him so that he can develop his skills. But I didn't have anyone who was pushing me, you know? And that's when it's
right,
like, okay, your thing kind of gets stale. And now you're like, oh, I don't really know how to continue moving forward. I know what I've done, but I don't know how to excel, you know? I don't know how to push myself.
right,
And I feel like that's
right.
a huge part as well. Like you need people around you that are on your same level, but you need that
Exactly.
mentorship in order to get to the next level
Of
because
course.
everybody around you is doing the same thing, but the people above you, they're doing something different. And you got to see
Yes,
what that is
yes,
in order to
yes,
get there.
yes. And
So
they
I,
have and they also have another point of view. You know, they always have another perspective. So you may think this is a great idea, but then you speak that great idea with them, and they just bring another great idea and then become the greatest idea. You know, if that makes sense, right? So it is that's what happens. So I continue being surrounded by these people because I like the environment. I believe that we have to put ourselves in a different environment. We have to put ourselves in a success environment in order to grow, right? So I found that success environment. At the moment I was making a little money. I was not making a lot of money, but I started making. I was in zeros, you know. I was making only money out of my mom, which is nothing, right? My mom was actually giving me money. I was not making any money, right? So I started from that to actually making a little money in this first company. So for me, that was good. I saw some advancement, right? So then I continued to be in communication with these people. I was always, you know, like hanging around with them. You know, we became friends more than business partners and more of an upline downline relationship. We became friends, right? And it's pretty crazy because I believe network marketing. I would never ever imagine that I was gonna be in network marketing. I would never ever imagine that I was gonna be in investing. You know, it's crazy. But network marketing brought me to the investing levels that I know right now. And I cannot say that I only learn from people in network marketing, you know, but I started network marketing. I have to be grateful my entire life for this industry because it brought me to what I do now, right? So
100%.
so these people uh like Juan Diego, my friend, he comes to my house one day, right? And he knew I was not doing nothing, you know, I was just there, you know, I was probably just paying my subscription, all that. I don't know. I don't remember what I was doing, but I was not doing nothing. And I remember he comes to the house and he just asked me one day if I know Alex Morton. It's crazy because I always tell these people about this story, right? And he's like, hey, do you know who Alex Morton is? I'm like, I don't know who Alex Morton is. And then he just sits on my computer. He types Alex Morton in YouTube. He plays one video. I remember this video was like, wow, I never saw something like that. You know, I never saw like something like that, right? Like he seemed like a very successful person. And I remember he told me like we have an opportunity to start working with Alex Morton. I was like, that's great. No, that's crazy. And and I remember they like we decided to move from company. So at that moment in the previous company, I was not starting from scratch in the team. I was just someone who joined the team and then appeared in his team, right? I was just someone who like someone signed up and then I'm there, right? And at this moment, like, I was sitting there, you know, getting started with this new business. We're bringing this new company to Costa Rica, right, and to Latin America. And I remember we went crazy. Like we put like 500 people in Costa Rica in a room. Alex Morgan came to visit us. You know, I hit the two first ranks in this company, and then from there I started to let's say to experience is not the same, but I started to experience that I needed to learn more about the markets. So I have always like helped my team. I always help my team. I continue to help my team every week, you know. But from let's say I would say from 2018 to 2020, I had a tremendous growth in my investing career because I started to put a lot more effort into actually learning strategies, you know, techniques and understanding the markets, right? And that actually also in 2018 when I started um, building my cryptocurrency knowledge. I started in 2018. I actually started to hold uh, coins in 2018. I heard about crypto in 2016. I ignored it. Imagine that same year, I was doing network marketing, everything. It was network marketing, all of that, ran out forex, network marketing. That was the flex at the moment for me, right? And I remember one friend talked to me about Bitcoin. So it's crazy. And one friend talked to me about Bitcoin and I ignored it. I didn't even know what it was. I remember opening TradingView and typing Bitcoin, bro, in 2016. I remember doing that. Imagine. I remember going into TradingView and seeing Bitcoin in $600. I remember that, right? And I ignored that, and then I saw Bitcoin again 2017, $20,000. Then I went to convention. I am convention in Las Vegas in 2018, and then I understood the technology, bro. I was like, it's a technology, right? And from there, it's another story, right? That's
Yeah.
pretty much what happened, bro. That's pretty much what happened. You know, like I like to be surrounded with by these people, all this knowledge, investing, markets, Bitcoin, business. You know, it was a lot of stuff that I was never surrounded by that. So I was like, I always want to be surrounded by greatness. I always want to be surrounded by all these things, right? So that's what inspired me to continue and to never settle, to never quit, even though I was not having my best experience at the moment, you know?
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Especially just from like I feel like it's a brotherhood, you're joining people who they may not understand it or they may really understand it, but either way, you guys are all in the position to learn, to
Yeah.
grow, and to get better. I did
Yes.
also want to touch on this because you're from Costa Rica. Obviously, you are bilingual, right?
Yeah.
And how has that really impacted your journey or impacted your life, I would say?
Being bilingual,
Hmm.
but I actually speak a little bit of Portuguese too, and I'm learning Italian. But I feel like I enjoy, you know, meeting people. So I truly enjoy meeting people. I believe at some point in my life I was very shy. I was a person with a lot of how can I say bad thoughts in my mind, but yeah, you know, insecurities is the word that I was looking for. I was a person with a lot of insecurities. I did not believe in myself and all of that, you know. So um I think that when I went past that and I finally broke that resistance that I had that I was not believing in myself, everything started to grow. And how did it help being bilingual? It helped me to just meet more people. Because I'm talking about this shyness thing because the fact that I was shy, I was not using my skills. So I was not using none of my skills. The fact that I speak English, it didn't work. It didn't help, you know? And I was not like that every time, but I was sometimes shy. You know, it was not like I was a completely shy and introvert every time. But then sometimes, you know, when I was alone, I was speaking back to myself. I always tell people, how do you speak to yourself when you are alone? Right? Because when you are alone, you are your very, very like let's say pure self when you're alone. That's your very pure self, right? So what you think, what you do, what you believe, what you see in the mirror, right? So how did it work? So once I went past that, so of course it helped me build a lot of business relationships, you know. So I know a lot of people in Latin America. I believe pretty much every single country in Latin America have a contact, you know, and also in Europe, in the USA. Australia, some people, some places, some place that I haven't even gone to or traveled to, right? I have contacts, and it's also pretty much because also like I think the majority of people speak English, right? It's not like everyone speak English, but a lot of people speak English. So I believe English opens a lot of doors if you're not a native English speaker. For me, it was a different story because I started speaking English from very young age. I started speaking since like 7, 6 years old, right? So my parents, well, my mom, she put me in a very good school that they taught English, but also my grandpa, he used to work at the marina, the pier, here in well, I'm from the coast. I'm in the city right now. I'm in the coast, so I'm from the coast, So he used to fix the boats in the coast. So he didn't speak any English. So he would invite me to go speak to the owners of the boats, and I didn't know I was being surrounded by abundance, bro. I didn't know that all these people were millionaires or they had a lot of money and these big jets and jets even with helicopters on top of it, and a boat inside another boat, right? And those kind of things that you see, I didn't understand. My grandpa did a very good thing that was putting me in a situation that was number one, an environment of success, and also he put me in an awkward situation, or actually he put me out of my comfort zone because he asked me to speak English to his customers. He was like, I don't speak English, you go and practice your English, and you can help me, like like communicate, talk to these people, right? So I don't know, bro, but I was not fearful at that time. I believe that I became shy when I was just thinking about my insecurities, right? That's a bad thing. So that was a bad thing, of of the process that we can also, like, I believe everyone goes through that. I don't know if someone, like, probably, like, grew in a house that they raise him with a lot of values and principles that help him, but I believe the average Latino that pretty much has an insecurities story like me, right? So
Yeah.
once you break through that, it doesn't matter if you're bilingual, trilingual, like, I don't know, you speak 5, 6 languages. If you're shy, like, you don't take advantage of that. So that happened to me.
Okay, I do appreciate that because I feel like at some point as well, I felt like, okay, I was a little bit sheltered, but now I feel the point where it's like, okay, I have value to give to people. So I'm doing both of us a disservice if I do not explore that value. See if you want to be interested in that as well. And I think a big part of investing and trading, even though a lot of people don't see it this way, is that mentality, right? A lot of
No,
people don't
totally.
feel that they're gonna make $1 million. So guess what? They can't make $1 million. And if
Of
you don't
course.
have that initial belief, then you're nowhere going to succeed the way you should.
Yeah.
And
And
I did
sometimes, bro,
understand
it's
that.
not even what you say. Sometimes it's something that someone told to you and you believed it, right?
Mhm.
Because it happened to me. Like, another cousin, he joined our business through, I believe, the same cousin that put me inside, right? And it was the first company, like, not I am not this company, because I have only been in two companies, like my first one and this one, right? And and my cousin, he told us, he was like, you will never become a millionaire doing trading. Like, you will never become financially free doing that, right? and and at some point I believed it, and that's the problem. It's not the problem because I have earned a lot of money, thanks God, through the market and through businesses and through all of that I do, right? But I did not experience that breakthrough until I threw away all that BS thoughts that people like putting on your mind, right? Because at some point I read that book called The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. I don't know if you have read that book, The
I'll write it
Secrets
down.
of the Millionaire Mind. Okay, and in that book, he says that we have to clean our mind. He says that we have to clean our mind from limiting beliefs that our family and some other people have put in our minds. Right? Um, they have taught us without knowing that they are doing, that they're damaging our
Right.
self-image,
They
right?
think they're helping, right? Because they don't wanna
Yeah,
see you
they
get
think
hurt.
they're helping, but they're actually not helping. They're
Exactly.
doing the complete opposite, right? So I
100%.
remember like in the book he said, write down all the limiting beliefs that you have heard about money. So I wrote everything down, bro. I remember my mom. She always told me, Kevin, we don't have money. Oh no, I don't have money. So I put all of that. We don't have money. I don't have money. Right. I remember every time I asked for something at the supermarket, something like that. She was like, "Oh, Kevin, I don't create money." It's like, I mean, money doesn't grow on trees, right? It's like I don't have infinite money, right? So I remember all of that she said, bro, I put all of that. I remember my grandma. She used to tell me that we were poor. Okay, we're poor, right? So I
Yeah.
remember that. Oh, I remember grandma saying that we're poor. I remember all of that, bro. People start telling me all of these and all of that about money. All of the limiting beliefs about money. I was putting all of that. My cousin telling me all of these about trading, blah 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 blah. All of the limiting beliefs I put about money, right? And I remember that he said that you have to burn that down. So I grabbed a lighter. I have his like it's crazy. I have a lighter right here. It's a pretty nice coincidence. I have one here. So you just have to burn it down.
Right.
So I brought this paper outside. Boom, burn it down, bro. And he says that you have to do a how's it called, a affirmation. It's called an affirmation. You have to do an affirmation and say, "These were my past beliefs. Now I decide to believe something that I want to believe." Right. So I remember doing this, bro, and not only for my limiting belief about money, but also for what I didn't like about my life. Right. So I wrote also everything that I didn't like about my life from the start of the day when I wake up, right, until I went to bed. Right? And I wrote everything that I didn't like throughout my day, and I burned that down. I did an affirmation. I said that was my past life. Now I decide to have a new life, and then I wrote down the life exactly as I wanted. And I'm so grateful that I earned that life. I earned it. It was not given to me. I worked through that, but I made it. So listen, how I told you pretty much that I got rid of the limiting beliefs. I got rid of the limiting ideas. The fact that you do this ritual and you burned it down, right, makes you feel like, oof, it's gone, right? It's pretty nice. But even though if you don't burn it down or do whatever it does, I mean, I believe if you write things down, like you actually like take them out of yourself.
Mhm.
When you write things down, it's crazy how when you do uh journaling, when you journal, it's crazy how you take things out, you put it on the paper, it stays on the paper,
Yeah,
right?
makes it
It's
real
now
fast.
out of yourself. Yeah.
Exactly. So one kind of last question, we always like to end it with is what is one tip for an investor that is just starting off?
That's a good question. So I would say find a mentor, a guide, study the skill set, study what you need to study. There's plenty of stuff that you need to understand, just like a profession. Treat this as it is, as a profession. So that's also I want to add from scratch. Like treat this as a profession. If you treat it as your side hustle, and it will pay you as your side hustle. If you treat it as something extra, it will pay you as something extra, right? So like treat it as a profession and it will pay you as a professional. That's number one. And every profession has a process of learning, you know. So if I went to college and I'm studying medicine, I'm studying I don't know, whatever, business management, whatever it is, I have to go through step one, two, three until I have the knowledge, whatever, right? So I can work in that area, right? If I'm started to, I don't know, to become I don't know, whatever, an engineer, right? I have to do all the step by step in the career so I can learn what needs to be done in that career. So people believe, bro, because they see things in the internet, they see things in social media Like, they don't have to study doing this, and that's completely wrong. These are professions. You have to study this the step by step. When it started, we didn't have a guide, but now we do have a guide. We do have a guide. We have a step by step guide. There's no jumping. You have to go through the walk. You have to go through it step by step. I mean, you cannot jump from step 1 to step 15. You have to watch all the step by step so you can actually learn the skill set. Also, what I would say is never ever trade your own money if you don't understand what you're doing. Don't risk money, because if you're in a rush to make money trading, you will lose money trading. Okay, rush money is lost money. Okay,
Yep.
so if you're in a rush in trading, and you feel like you have to start making money right now. Okay, we do have services, and you already know that we do have services that help you out, but at least understand how they work, right? So use a demo account. Use a demo account, right? So number one, if you want to start copying someone that gives you the ideas or the guidance to invest in the market, firstly, like, prove yourself. You have to prove yourself. It's crazy when someone asks me, "Do you feel like I'm ready to start investing? Are you ready?" I'm asking you, right? Do you feel ready? Because the fact that you ask me, that tells me that you are not ready, right? You should know if you're ready or not, right?
Yeah.
So that's something, bro. I mean, that's something very important. I also believe that opinions of people are worth nothing, right? So even though you're listening to you people that have more results than you, and they give you an opinion or they give you an advice, that's also that matters. Of course, that matters. That definitely matters. But it also matters so you can create your own opinion. I want you to understand that. Never take no one's advice as last opinion. Create your own opinion every time, even when you're meant to give you an advice. When you're meant to give you an advice, if you don't have, the consciousness, the awareness of saying if it is, I mean, what he's saying is something true or false, right? Is that the truth? Is that the false? Does that can help me, right? Can
Because
that
it's
help me?
usually like, oh, sorry, but it's basically
No,
like,
don't worry.
his opinion based on his experience, right? And
Yeah,
your experience is different from my experience. So
of
I'm gonna
course,
obviously use your experience as best that I can, but just know that it
definitely.
applies differently to my life. And that
Yeah,
that is hundred
yeah.
percent true.
But what I'm saying is that some people don't think for themselves. That's what I'm telling you, right? So I always listen to my mentors. I always listen to people that have more results than I do, of course, right? But I listen to them so I can let's say I can increase my opinion, right?
Got
So they are fulfilling so I can think better, right? Because at
it.
some point you don't know if the mentor stops being your mentor, and just because you don't have your own personal thinking, then you continue to be mentored by someone who doesn't deserve to be your mentor anymore. Does that
Mm,
make sense?
yeah, yeah,
And
that
that's
makes sense.
happened to me. I've been mentored by people that sometimes they don't deserve to have me as a mentee. If that makes sense, that makes sense as well. I'm sorry, right?
Mhm.
So that's something that I can tell as well. Think for yourself. If you're getting started, think for yourself. Try it out. Like, never. If I tell you something, I tell you try it out. I mean, never take an advice from me before trying it out, because you gotta see if it works or not. That's what I tell people from what I teach in trading, bro. I teach them a strategy. They look at it, they're like, "Oh my god, wow, that's crazy, that's amazing, right?" Because it's very simple and it works. It's very powerful. Simple yet so powerful, you have no idea. But I tell people, don't believe me. Try it out. Go out, try it out, have your own opinion about this, and then tell me if it works or not, right? Because I don't
Mm,
want people to be blindly believing in people. I want people to be believing in people that actually helps them go and reach their success, right?
yeah, yes,
So,
definitely, definitely.
and last, bro, just before we wrap it up, um, more than having a guidance, a mentor, and not getting opinions, get inside yourself. Cause okay, something before I say the last thing, opinions. Cause I'm talking about good opinions, right? But what happens with bad opinions? Bad opinions don't matter, right? So you have to create this positive energy. Let's say I don't know, circle, bubble, whatever that doesn't come inside of you, right? So when a hater tells you that this doesn't work, this and that, oh, you're bad, whatever. When a hater hates on you, just look at their results in life. Look at their results in life and ask yourself, are they in a place that I want to be? If not, then don't feel sorry about you. Feel sorry about them, right? Feel sorry about them and
Yeah,
continue
that's
with
so
your life.
true.
Cause someone that hates on you, bro, all that he has in his life is hate, is bad vibrations, right? Because don't that's something I can also tell people, because that's something that I believe stops people from keeping the belief alive, right? And you don't need to ever allow a person to tell you what you are. You decide to be what you are. And actually pretty interesting, because the other day I was just playing FIFA. I was just playing a game of FIFA with a friend, and then I won the game. He was mad at me because I won the game. And then he starts telling me a lot of things about me, and I'm like, no, I know what I am. You can say whatever that I am, because I won the game, and then you're mad at me. But guess what? I know what I am, so I don't care what you think, right?
Mhm. Having that belief, that self-confidence where it's like, "Okay, you could tell
You
me."
have to have that. You have to have. That's the most important asset that I have. My asset is not my portfolio. It's not my trading accounts. Not. It's not. Those are not my businesses. My biggest. My biggest asset that I have is to always feel good. My confidence that I have in myself. What I see in the mirror is my biggest asset. Me. I am my biggest asset. So I treat that as my main investment. I always put my money in me first. I invested a lot of money in me first. So that's also I want to tell people, invest in yourself. And the other thing that I wanted to do, if you're learning a system, or like you don't have a system, create a system, right? Like you can easily learn a system, a trading system. You have to have a trading system. So what's trading system? If you want to learn trading, because investing in a portfolio is just buying a stock or buying a coin and just holding it, right? But that also needs to have a system. You need to have a system to know when are you getting inside the market, when are you getting in the market, and when are you getting out the market. You need to understand that. When are you getting in, when are you getting out, and you have to respect the confirmations. If this happens, then I enter. If this happens, then I get out. And if doesn't happen, if nothing happens, then you don't enter. And that's something that you have to do, because at some point when you're getting started, you feel like you have to take a trade every day. I don't take a trade every day. No, I may see trades every day, but that doesn't mean I take trades every day, right? Like I probably just see it and it's not in my trading time. So that's also something that I want to tell you. Have a trading hour. Trade exact same hour every day. Pick like two or three different assets. Not a lot of assets. Take like one pair, two pairs. Study those pairs. It's better to become great at those pairs at the same hour, right? Like every hour you come and watch, let's say Bitcoin, and you watch Bitcoin at 8 a.m. in the morning. It's better to watch Bitcoin every day at 8 a.m. in the morning for 1 hour than watching like 100 different coins every day in different hours, right? So keep it simple.
Got
At
you.
some point, I thought that I needed to trade all the coins. That's not needed.
Yeah.
That's not needed.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I feel like it's a
I
misconception that a lot of
yeah,
people have is that they gotta, "Oh, I gotta invest in everything that's so cheap right now," you know? No,
yeah,
just pick a
yeah,
few that are winners, and then that'll probably be a lot better off than you picking 100, you know?
yeah. And yeah, have a trading system. So understand the rules of how to enter trade and execute it every time the same way. Don't change the rules of how you enter trade. You
Mhm.
enter trade every time the same way, same confirmations, get out the same. Enter the same way every time, same confirmations, get out the same, right? And for the last thing that I want to say is risk management and risk to reward ratio. Risk versus reward is the same. So, so risk management is never go crazy in your account. So never lose or never risk more than you're willing to lose. So that's something. Before executing a trade, ask yourself, am I willing to lose this trade? Am I willing to lose this amount of money? If this money is lost, am I still feeling okay? Am I still good? Am I blowing my account? Or am I still alive to keep investing? Right? Because that's something that no one knows when it's gonna start. And I believe that a lot of people can better their journey if they just believe risk management. If they just know the risk management basic, which is never risk more than you're willing to lose. And I'm never willing to lose more than 1% of my account. That's what I
That's
do.
huge.
I
That's
believe
huge.
that I believe that risking more than 1% of your account is stupid. And I mean that's just something that's my personal opinion, right? And I respect if someone is risking 5% and making 20% a day, that's great. But I believe that's not sustainable long term. And also big money don't do that. The big players in the market, they don't risk like that. So that's what I can tell you. But risk management is number one. And the other thing about risk is when you're losing 1%, how much money are you making when you are winning? Because if you're losing 1% to make half of 1%, 0.5%, then that's also stupid, right? That doesn't make any sense. So you have to at least make two times more every time. So if I'm losing 1%, I gotta at least make 2% back. If I'm not making at least 2% or 3%, it starts to be better. 2%, 3% is the minimum TP that you need to have, the minimum profit that you need to have. Because if you don't have that, then you will never be profitable because it's impossible to win all the trades. So that's what I can say. So start by putting targets of risking 1% and making at least 2, 3%, and that percentage of the account that never goes to your mind, never goes to your
Yeah.
heart either. And also, bro, some other tip that I wanna give you guys. You always have big accounts, big demo accounts. Don't trade $1,000 demo accounts. Trade $100,000 plus demo accounts because that trains your mind for your accounts. So if you have, let's say, $100,000 account and then you're trading $1,000 account, when you come back to that $1,000 real account, it feels like a game because your mind has already been playing with the lot sizes, with the imports, and the 100,000 demo account that in the $1,000 account it seems like a game.
Okay.
And
That's
also,
pretty
also,
interesting.
also, and I want to add this extra. I know we're done with time,
You're good.
but try funded accounts, the prop firm account. I don't know if you ever heard about the prop firm or the funded accounts. I cannot talk about any name publicly, but there are these companies that they put you on a test to see if you're actually a good trader. And if you pass the test, they will give you $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 of real money to trade, and you get to keep the majority of the profits. So if you feel like you've been executing a demo account, a good system, then no, they don't even risk your money. Go and pay for this test, for this trading test, get funded, and risk someone else's money and keep the profit,
Wow.
right?
Okay. Yeah, that's very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use other people's money, and there's a lot of people who don't
Exactly.
even know that. To kind of end it off, did you want to let everybody else know your social media, something that's coming up? Is there something that you definitely want to talk about before, hopping off the podcast?
Well, before leaving, I just wanna thank you, Nestor, for being here. I wanna encourage everyone to reach out to you, get started with you and your team. Come join our session. If you wanna join my sessions, you guys can talk to Nestor. He will have also access to all of my information, and you guys can see me. So I want you to be having advantage of everything that we do, and what's coming, bro. We have started in DCX. We have started doing live sessions every day. So we're pretty much trading live every day. For instance, we had 2 sessions today, 2 TPs. Just come inside, wait for trade, boom. TP. Next day we do the same. Like Charlie and I were doing that, and I believe some other educators are starting to jump on the wave. So that's something that's new. So if you want to have like a better companion even, on your journey, we're doing that so you can not only do it yourself, use the product, the copy and paste and all of that. You can also come and see how we do it live, you know, and see it every day in Go Live. We're doing that in DCX. So also, bro, I believe crypto is a great, great, great opportunity. I have plenty of videos teaching that. Also, my social media, you guys can find me as Kevin Barquero. I have two social medias, Kevin Barquero 7, which is my personal, and then I have my crypto account, which is Kevin Barquero Crypto. Barquero as Barquero. I know it's weird, so people normally don't type it as it is. So Kevin Barquero 7 and Kevin Barquero Crypto. That's my two accounts, and I always post free information, news, educational content about crypto, personal development, all that I like. And yeah, bro, that's the new things I wanted to add. We're doing live trading now, so we want to help more people um, go get this skill set. Because I believe is the most important skill set. Because guess what, the whole market is down, as you said. There's blood in the streets, as you said it. And guess what, bro? Trading never stops.
Yeah.
So trading never stops. So it doesn't matter if Bitcoin goes to zero, you can make money trading. But I want you to zoom out. I want you to look at daily time frames. I want you to look at the weekly time frames in trading view. Check any crypto asset, any cryptocurrency asset that you may want to look at. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. Look at anyone and just notice that it's just an impulse retracement to another impulse. So this cycle has been, repeating itself for years since Bitcoin genesis.
Yeah,
So it's
definitely.
gonna
When in
go
doubt, zoom out.
again, and right now it's a huge opportunity. I just don't want people to miss on that. Pick the technologies. Don't lose your mind on crazy projects, meme coins, and all of that. I know they can pump a lot, but you don't know. So remember that technology is the most important thing you have to invest on. Ethereum is technology, Bitcoin is technology, Binance is technology, etc.
Mhm.
Find good technologies where people are building on and invest mainly in the technologies. All right, that's something that you gotta be looking into, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, bro, let's get it.
All right.
Thank you very much
Yeah.
for having me,
Really
and
appreciate you for having us on.
no, I appreciate you for inviting me.
Yeah,
Thanks.
definitely. We're definitely open to anybody else hopping on, but I do appreciate you dropping so much knowledge for our viewers. And ultimately, remember to follow his social medias, follow and subscribe to all of our social medias as well. We have Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. All of them are at the Masternodes. We have our visual podcast experience, which can be found on YouTube, and also our audio podcast experience can be found on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and all your other favorite podcast sources. Check out our website, www.themasternodes.com. Subscribe to that email list. You could also get into our Discord, and obviously you can join our team to be a trader, an investor, basically all the way in between. And as
Yeah.
always, guys, have yourselves a blessed day and try your best to choose kindness.